What currently is happening in the U.S. job market as of the last quarter? And why is it concerning the labor? Will it be a hindrance for the ones seeking to live out their lives in the U.S. for the better? Will it shatter the dreams of those millions out there? Let's find it out through current economic conditions in the U.S. that what really the deal that is worrying our working force is. U.S. economic dynamics as of September indicate gross domestic product, GDP. Growth rates have been increased to 3% from an initial of 2.8%. Retail sales increased to 1% in July, thanks to the upside in consumer spending. This growth was significantly boosted by a recovery in car sales, which has been impacted by a cyber attack on auto dealer sales software in June. When excluding motor vehicles, part dealers, and gas stations, retail sales saw a 0.4% monthly increase. This increase was seen in 10 out of 13 categories. This positive economic data makes it more likely that the real GDP will grow by 2.4% this year. If consumer spending continues to be strong and demand remains steady, as the current data indicates, then what really is the potential cause of increase in unemployment? You see many people move to U.S. from different parts of the world, looking for employment opportunities and in hopes of creating better and happier lives for themselves. But can they really make it happen? This increase in the supply of labor is something the market would struggle to accommodate and result in a surge in labor supply. The real estate market is currently struggling with an affordability challenge. Despite a recent decline in average rates on 30-year mortgages to 6.47% in August, according to Freddie Mac, these rates remain higher than the 3% levels observed in late 2021. Consequently, the demand for existing homes has weakened, with August sales experiencing a 0.7% decrease compared to the previous year. A lot of people are holding off on buying homes right now because prices have been skyrocketing. It's like they're waiting for a sale, hoping that mortgage rates will come down so they can afford a place. Furthermore, the Housing Market Index, a survey of home builders, has reached its lowest point this year as single-family sales slowed, causing the inventory levels to rise. With the softening of demand and credit crunch, are we headed for a recession? With the economy feeling so shaky lately, it's hard not to worry about a recession, right? With so many people looking for work, it's tough out there when the market cannot keep up with the number of job seekers. This year alone, the U.S. has seen a flood of 1.16 million new people entering the workforce. Unfortunately, that means the number of unemployed workers has also increased by 1.04 million since January, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS. Looks like the job market took a bit of a hit, according to the latest numbers by the Department of Labor. Turns out the total number of jobs created in the United States was relatively lower than what was estimated initially over the 12-month period, which ended in August. The figures show that approximately more than 800,000 fewer jobs were added during this time frame. If we compare it to the past, the unemployment rate is low, but it has gone up to 4.3%, which is the highest it has been in recent years. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, recently announced that 142,000 new jobs were created during August. Although this represents an increase from the previous 2 months, June, 118,000, and July, 89,000, it still shows continuing slow job growth. To make matters worse, August jobs report showed downward revisions in the job data for both June and July. In late August 2024, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics released its annual benchmark payroll jobs revisions for the 12 months ending in March 2024. These revisions resulted in a substantial reduction of 818,000 payroll jobs compared to previous estimates, representing a downward revision of 0.5% in the total number of jobs over the 12 months ending in March. Add a bar chart showing the average monthly change in non-farm payrolls. Heard of a ticking bomb? Unemployment is exactly like that. It can start out slow, but then suddenly explode. If you don't keep a close eye on it, it can lead to a financial disaster and a recession. The Federal Reserve has got a tough job ahead and needs to carefully balance inflation and prevent unemployment from getting too high. If we see historically, recessions have always been a job killer, causing people to lose their jobs and shrinking the workforce, as we saw it happen in 2001, 2007, and 2020. But this time it's like as if we are in a parallel universe. The labor force is actually growing, with even more people working even as we are on the verge of a recession. It's a very strange and unexpected twist. It seems the increase in unemployment is not because companies are laying off workers. Instead, it is because more people are looking for jobs and due to a spike in immigration. This could make wages lower or lead to more competition for jobs. We are already seeing this in the slower growth of wages for non-farm workers, which have decreased from 4.4% year-over-year in January 2024 to 3.6% year-over-year in July 2024. Non-farm payroll employment growth slowed to 1.4% annualized in the 3 months leading up to June 2024, down from 2.1% in the previous 3 months. This marks the slowest rate of growth since January 2021. The government has been cutting back on hiring, which has slowed down the job market overall. The construction and real estate industries have also taken a hit, going from a growth rate of 3.5% to 1.4%. This isn't at all surprising, considering the high interest rates have made it tougher to buy a house. It has even started to affect commercial construction projects. So will we be lucky enough to tackle this looming recession and get out of it unscathed? The latest inflation data shows a continued improvement. The Producer Price Index, PPI, for July increased by a modest 0.1% month-over-month and a 2.2% year-over-year, meaning the prices are increasing at a much slower pace, thankfully. Notably, the Federal Reserve's favored inflation indicator, the Core Personal Consumption Expenditures PCE Index, which excludes the fluctuating prices of food and energy, rose by a mere 0.2% in July. That's a big improvement. The annualized core PCE climbed to 2.6, remaining the same as the previous month. The Fed is making progress in taming inflation, which is great news for our economy. Thanks to Chairman Powell's hint at a possible rate cut, we are expecting the Fed to lower interest rates by 0.25% at the upcoming meeting. This could be a big deal for the economy. If you're a small business owner new in the market, you'd be over cloud nine after knowing this. Small businesses are starting to see brighter days ahead. The National Federation of Independent Business recent survey showed a great improvement in the outlook for small businesses. The survey found that business owners are feeling more positive about the economy than they have in the past 2 years, which we believe is a positive sign for the overall economy. Many believe that easing inflation and the Fed's potential rate cut are giving small businesses a hope. The businesses that were surveyed think that if prices stay stable, they'll be able to sell more in the future, and lower interest rates will make it easier for them to grow and search for new opportunities in the future. This good news is not just for small businesses, but it can lead to overall improvement of the economy. The U.S. job market has experienced a series of similar events in the past, such as the Great Depression, 1929 to 1933, and the 2008 financial crisis, but guess what? If those crises were tackled, then no need to worry about the current one. As we all know, the Great Depression was a severe economic downturn that led to mass unemployment, widespread poverty, and the collapse of the stock market. But the government was responsive enough and implemented several programs which were aimed at providing relief to the unemployed, restoring economic stability, and regulating the financial system. The measures that were taken included the Works Progress Administration, WPA, which created jobs for millions, and the Social Security Act, which provided a safety net for the elderly and disabled. Also, the Federal Reserve lowered interest rates and expanded the money supply to stimulate economic activity, but some economists argued that this action was too slow to prevent the damage caused by the Depression. Similarly, during the 2008 financial crisis, the government implemented the Troubled Asset Relief Program, TARP, which provided financial assistance to struggling banks and other financial institutions. Yet again, interest rates were lowered by the Federal Reserve to nearly zero, and quantitative easing, QE, was engaged in, which involved purchasing large amounts of government bonds and other assets to inject liquidity into the financial system. All of these careful actions helped to stabilize the financial markets and prevent a deeper economic downturn. Hence, to conclude this, the The U.S. job market is currently experiencing a combination of positive and negative economic trends. While there are signs of economic growth as seen through increased retail sales and GDP growth, there are also potential challenges that could impact the job market. It is uncertain what the future holds for the job seekers.